So we're up for being hit with ballistic weapons, thank God, in the United States any minute, any hour, any day. Right now, one reason why I can't go into the extra room is when I did, I was hit with all this biological weapon. I'm certain it is because of the way it affects my body. But anyways, it's in the air, it's airborne, it's a gas, it's poisonous, whatever. We know what it is, it kills people, it's not supposed to make you go diarrhea. Well, that's what it did to me again, diarrhea. And every turn and every breath here, it's diarrhea. Okay? It all started up after the DCPD went running down the street, engaged in combat in their own country, that they started in their own country by attacking their own country. And it all started with the psychotics sitting in their yards endlessly, drinking beer, getting wasted, barbecuing, doing drugs, banging on sticks, chasing bears, screaming, yelling, going on video, everything they do, and then coming back in with everything that you can read in plain English they do here. Chemical explosives, IEDs, human remains, biohazards, everything. Fuck, I wrote it down, read it. We are 6 blocks from the president's office, and this is the deal, okay? There's evil military using this biological weapon that I walked into a mist, a fog, a room full of it. It wasn't for me. It's going from 1511 all the way down the block. They're using it wherever they like, on whoever they want. Their objective is nobody's going to be sitting here in their houses. Nobody's going to be sitting in the White House. No one's going to be sitting in Congress and Senate who can give anything up on them, okay? Waiting any minute, any hour for ballistic weapons to hit. The fact that nobody, not the police, not the fire, not the Pentagon, not Tehran, ever even considered that the United States would be bombed because of their war crimes, atrocities, and their tyranny, and their constant attempts with, oh my God, the nuclear weapons that they were trying to launch from Wall Street were terrifying. And when I was in Brazil this recently, all those shots of Brazil, that shit could have got so many Brazilians fucking killed. Like, nice people that I'll probably never know. They live like nice lives. They're just Latin Colombian type of people. They're really, really not drug cartel, no. And their lives depended on the good military. And why is this? Because the United States keeps trying to attack all these populations and wipe them out. Why is this? Because they're not capitulating with the Iranian Ayatollah and the U.S. white supremacist, white nationalist, white power of the United States. So then we turn around and we try to illegally always attack and bomb the living shit out of different places. I am hoping that was the last time. The same day they did that, they were trying to blow up and attack parts of England. And Donald Trump and the U.S. crowd, I can finally say this, were part of an assassination attempt on the Prime Minister of England. Because if they can't get Europe to do what the U.S. says, they'll just, like your typical Saudi Arabian, Iranian terrorists, that's who's ordering all this and dictating all this. They'll just assassinate, make fake wars, make everything fake. Red flags, this is a term, I'm not going to get into it. And kill and chop up and cannibalize anybody they want to take power. So the U.S. is doing what the Middle East terrorists are telling them to do. And basically the Middle East terrorists in the U.S. were going to attack political figures in London and do great harm. Thousands or more could have died through Our weapons. It would have come up, our weapons, yeah, that, you know how when a weapon falls, they say it was this country's weapon? They can clearly identify that. Well, it would have come up, but since everybody does what is a network, remember, everybody does what Saudi Arabia, Iran, and the US say, then who's going to report it? And they could just start this gigantic, they were trying to attack Europe, okay? And the Ukrainians are with Putin or with the US. They're always here duking it out and getting killed. The Ukrainian Russians. They're Ukrainian and they're also Russians. And then, so just understand, sometimes the Russians say they're Ukrainians, but these two groups are always here. They're even sending mail now to Russian names here, and they keep trying to get the city blown up over a terrorist cell, okay? So Donald Trump is not going to stop down there, just outright, it's so illegal, it makes your head roll. He's just going to keep attacking and attacking anybody who doesn't capitulate and do every last thing that the Iranian Ayatollah and Donald Trump say. Why is Putin out of the equation? Because the Russian military is about to bomb everybody. They're not going to have Putin calling any shots. One of the last shots that Putin called was the recent headlines Putin made for himself. They put him out after that. Oh God, my memory's so bad. It was some sort of trash crap, prisoner swap, some sort of trash crap phone call. It was right before the White House Donald Trump crowd started giving ultimatums to Russia. That was their reaction. And this now, they canceled the appearance in London because they realized in London that they were trying to fucking blow him up and assassinate him before they were ever going to do their peace talks. They were going to blow up and assassinate all these people in England. That's why I was doing that. You can see the photos, go look. And they were going to then have this great, huge war suddenly start in Europe, and no one would ever be going to peace talks because Europe's in this big war. And America bombed, but at that point it doesn't matter if America's bombs were identified because America's bombing everybody at that point. And then you can see right after that, they're in Brazil trying to attack this part of the oceans. Brazil's a big safe zone for the Saudi prince and these Middle East terrorists. They've been fighting desperately to take Brazil. So wherever the Saudi terrorists go, come the U.S. white supremacist, white nationalists. Remember what I said, they're going to come everywhere, wipe everybody out, and take over these countries with the United States weapons. All right, so what's mind-boggling is that the Pentagon, the fire department here, I mean, I can speak for shit, I'm around, I'm witnessing it, and the police department here never considered that any country would ever fire back. And now the fire department's realizing it thousands of years too late. You're about 1,000 years too late, DCFD. The police department, you're 5,000 years too late. And they all, like I said yesterday, are going to go after Trump. But they'll never get to him before these evil bastards do. These evil bastards are Russian military. The reason why I'm talking about them is because they're not too close to me now. I can. They are Russian military. They're really fucking dangerous. They're the ones who set this shit up. This shit here was not supposed to have cannibals and be on the TV every day, the internet every day, so fucking world famous every day, with all their Russian military fucking charging to the satellites and back from here. Do you understand what's happen to Russia because of that, I can't put any of it on my account. I leave it up to the listener if they feel like it to try to research this, but you're not going to find much of it in the US news. No, they manipulate the press now 1,000% stronger than ever before. All you're going to read about is Donald Trump. All you're going to see are the stars, the celebrities, which are prostitutes. They do anal sex for money. That's how they made their careers. And if they're not, then they're from like the 90s, the stars, the celebrities, or the early 2000s. And they're all in the mob. They're hardcore, heartless fucking drug addicts. And they basically do anything the Mexican drug cartel tells them. Sean Penn and Madonna truly do believe, because of the Mexican drug cartel, that they are literally taking over the world. So when I say that and it goes on the internet, you've got people that are like, fuck no. Sean Penn and Madonna and Donald Trump are not going to get my ass fucking arrested or bombed. And the fire department's finally fucking realizing that. That Sean Penn, Madonna, and Donald Trump are getting the fire department fucking blown up, and they're sitting there with their fire trucks. They're going to be sitting in their fucking fire truck house and have a ballistic weapon drop right on their head like the biggest dumb fucks ever in recorded history. They never even considered it, no matter what kind of military activity was happening here. And they never left their fucking firehouse. They sat there on a suicide mission, but there's no suicide involved. Like, you know, the Holy War people, the Holy War jihadist Islamists, they know they're out to do the suicide jihad. These ones here are just too stupid to ever fucking have a plan other than to sit waiting for bombs to drop on their heads. And that is what they're doing tonight. Now, more than likely, the fire department is trying to make a plan to get out 1,000 years too late. And they don't want Donald Trump sitting down there, because he won't leave. Him and all his Mexicanos, no offense, good military in Mexico. Archangel St. Michael says you don't mind. I hope we can, to the Mexican military, I hope we can talk. If you ever thought I was racist, I don't need it right now. I hope you understand I was just poisoned again. And all day long, good guys in Mexico, Mexican military, I was poisoned by Mexicano drug cartel. So I might not be so nice when I say Mexicano right now. All right, I think you understand. Muchas gracias. All right, so Donald Trump with all his Mexicanos and his Saudi terrorists and Iranian terrorists are literally going to sit and never leave and never leave and never stop and keep fighting until his own fucking fire department tries to take him out. And it all has to do with that mansion. That mansion that burnt down was the beginning. It started to sink in with the fire department and the police that yes, you need to consider you're going to be bombed. It's time to maybe entertain the notion. You are engaged in warfare around the clock. Who the fuck ever told you nobody was ever gonna fire back? And why the fuck did you believe that? I don't care anymore. These fucking fire department and police absolutely terrify me. They have tried to kill me so many times. I need fucking counseling now. I don't care anymore. I've heard so many women die by their hands in this house. I need counseling now. I've heard women thrashing, kicking for their lives by the hands of the fire department and the police here. I don't fucking care anymore. They kill women like it's a sport. And now, 5,000 years too late, they realize they need to get out before they're fucking killed themselves. No, I want you to sit there in your precinct and wait for ballistic weapons. I would enjoy that. You're so stupid you will. You'll be back here tomorrow fighting and duking it out with your Mexicanos. I know you will. And so will Donald Trump. This is the thing, though. These really, really dangerous Russian and whatever country else joins in with them. I'm not putting it down. I'm just tired of explaining it. Japan, we know the crowd. Some of them are U.S. They're nothing to fuck with, dude. All right, they are military people. I told you I'm not combat ready. I hide in my chair like a throw pillow. I'm fucking helpless in here, and I'm so pissed about that. Okay, so those are the ones that aren't going to let Donald Trump sit down there and wait for ballistic weapons to drop on his head. And I need to close with this. Has anyone considered, with the skill of the good military, they're as skilled as the evil, okay? They're like the best in the biz. Why would Donald get blown up with ballistics? Do you know how easy, how simply done it would be to just go in and haul his ass out? You think the best in the biz can't get to Donald in the White House? Do you really think that Donald has to have a ballistic rocket dropped on his head? Do you really? Have you anyone considered this? If no one's considered any of this, then you really do live in another world. And you must really believe that there was a crucifixion. You must really believe that Jesus, being as powerful as he was so stupid that that whole crucifixion story of the Last Supper and Judas, it's a nice story, but you really do believe anything you're told, and you never question anything or think hard about anything, do you? You really do believe anything you're told. You really believe Jesus is going to come down in sandals, wearing little leather sandals, floating from a cloud, right? And this is the savior of the world. That's how it happens? You really fucking believe this? I think you do here. Jesus is very real. So is Muhammad. What have I always told all of you? But you don't like to hear the actual logistics, like how you might actually be able to shake hands with these two prophets. You don't like to hear the actual reality of an angel, the different species of them. You don't want to hear any of that. You want to keep it to what you like, and you want to keep it to reading it in a book, whatever religion it is. And you want to keep it in your head, spinning and spinning to whatever you want to believe it is. But you're not going to do that when you're waging war and you're trying to kill all these nice people in Brazil, and you're trying to kill all these nice people in England, so you can take it over with your American movie stars, your Ellen, your talk show host Ellen. You know what's going to happen to her? You're going to get the same special ops going right into Ellen's house. She thinks she's taking over England with Donald Trump and her Barack Obama crowd. They're going to go right into Ellen's house, haul her out, put her in prison, get all the information out of her, and hang her. She's a vicious jackal whore. Ellen, you might want to get out of England. You just tried to blow English people up, and you're probably so stupid you're still sitting there, just like Donald's still sitting down the street. So I want the world to consider that. They don't have to go and drop a ballistic weapon on this motherfucker's head to get him to stop trying to blow people up. They can go down and take his ass. Very simply done. This is the best in the world. They're special ops elite, whatever their title is, you'll have to get it from them. I'm the one that's a throw pillow on my fucking chair. I told you I'm not a military person like that. All right. Goodbye.